this brand scan study is the first attempt to look at different brands, different ways of perceiving brands, so that we can get a general idea of what brand actually means, rather than confusing that with what might be a specific response just to one product, like a particular car or a particular cigarette.
Well, we're very excited about the brand scan opportunity. For the first time, we can look into people's heads and figure out what they really think about TV shows. And not just in general terms, which is what you get from interviews, but in a lot of detail.
Because nobody is telling the truth. Smokers are always concealing something. It short circuits any potential deviation from the truth and brings us straight into what's really going on in somebody's mind.
And the brand scan technology does give you an insight into people's minds.
I guess many people would wonder what fMRI actually was, and broadly speaking, it's a way of using a brain scanner, a magnetic resonance scanner, which is in pretty much every major general hospital in the world these days, using that to look at the brain, but instead of taking a single picture of the brain, as you would do, for example, to see if somebody had got brain damage after a car crash or something like that, fMRI, and the F stands for functional, means that while the person's in the scanner, you take a movie of images of the brain every few seconds, while the people in the scanner, person in the scanner, is doing some sort of experiment that you're interested, looking at some bit of brain function that you're interested in, and you would then examine that movie to try and work out which bits of the brain were changing as the experiment was changing. So it's really like making a movie of the brain while a person's doing an experiment, and then examining that movie to look for interesting changes in various areas of the brain. And it's by analysing this kind of data that we can find out where in the brain things are happening, where the responses to looking at various brand images, various stimuli, where those things are being processed. One of the aims is to try to get at information like, what does brand mean, so that we can perhaps look at the marketing industry and answer that type of question.
SST is a novel brain imaging technology that's developed from academic research in the cognitive neurosciences. NeuroInsight has adapted this methodology to gauge how the brain responds to what we call naturalistic stimuli. In other words, stimuli that people see, do and experience as part of their daily lives. And one of those is watching TV and also viewing advertising. The benefit of using the SST methodology is that we are measuring directly, in the case of emotion, we're directly measuring those emotional responses. So we're going straight to the source.